Hey, Mount Hope, this is Brett. Hey, I've been thinking a lot recently about the word hope. It's a beautiful word. And as the camp director of Mount Hope Bible Camp, the word has often been a part of my vocabulary. In fact, it's kind of been a standing joke with some of our staff about how I begin each one of our automated phone calls or the opening lines of some of the videos that we've created. This is Brett Wilson, camp director at Mount Hope Bible Camp. But unfortunately, probably far too many times, I've spoken the word without really considering the weight of its meaning. I guess that is until recently. The word hope is all about looking forward or being expectant, which is where we found ourselves a lot lately. As the weeks have passed since we first heard the news reports surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic, hope has been the word that we have held too tightly. You know, as schools move to distant learning, all of us have been waiting with anticipation for the moment our children will safely be able to return to school. Some of us probably more so than others, I'm sure. But when restaurants and businesses, they close their doors to the shelter in place and social distancing guidelines, we've been waiting with anxious anticipation for the moment that we'll sit down across from some friends and enjoy a meal. And for us at camp, well, we too have been anticipating how we would move ahead with our summer. And so with all of the unknowns looming and restrictions in mind, we knew that the decision about summer camp was on the horizon. The weeks leading up to today's announcement, well, they've been difficult to say the least. The days have been spent online with our board of directors and our planning team researching the projected logistics of moving forward with some type of a modified camp program and seeking the advice and counsel from community members and church leaders and even other camp directors. The pros and cons of the what ifs have been weighed against each other, and plans A, B, C, and D have seemingly all been considered. And so now, before I go any further, let me just first say how blessed I am to serve as the camp director at Mount Hope Bible Camp. With every decision, I have been reminded of how God has orchestrated and put together our leadership team and board of directors. The passion of our planning team and the wisdom of our board of directors is unmatched. And I think it's in part because each member of our team has experienced the impact of camp firsthand. And if that wasn't enough, last weekend, y'all, we were just overwhelmed by the community support as we raised over $32,000 for our hashtag Mount Hope Sunday online giving campaign. Our history at Mount Hope Bible Camp is strong, and I believe so is our future. Knowing this has made this decision that much harder. While we acknowledge that this decision will impact a large number of people, including our hundreds of campers, their families, and our large number of selfless summer volunteers, we know that it will be received with grace and love, and so for that we are already thankful. So, because of the current restrictions, there is just no foreseeable way to move forward with camp this summer. For the sake of our testimony and the message of the gospel, we have chosen to abide by the guidelines our local and state officials have set in place. We know that this will be disappointing news, but we believe it's the right thing to do to cancel all of our summer camps, including our scheduled rental groups. And we are heartbroken, though, and we are so very sorry. Our planning team and board of directors support this decision, and it was made with the health, safety, and well-being of our campers and staff in mind. Now, specifically, we knew that this news would be especially difficult for our graduating seniors. And so with that in mind, our board of directors have already voted unanimously to allow graduating seniors who are expecting this to be their last year as a camper at Mount Hope the opportunity to return next year as a camper. As far as refunds are concerned, we had asked in late March, knowing this cancellation may be a real possibility, we had asked for you to hold off sending in pre-registration forms and deposits. And we want to thank you for helping us in that regard. While a few of you had sent in payments before we made that announcement, processing funds now will be a much manageable task for us in the days ahead. If you were one of the few that sent your deposit in early, will be contacting you within the next few weeks to discuss your refund. So, in light of canceling our summer camps, our plan moving forward includes a season of much-needed maintenance and grounds work. So as we shared during our hashtag Mount Hope Sunday campaign, many of our upcoming projects will include things like carpentry and painting, repairs, and just grounds maintenance. And so to help us with these projects, we are inviting mission teams through SCORE International and local families and churches to partner with us to help us accomplish these projects this summer. And so if your family or church would be interested in participating, please send us an email at brett@mounthopebiblecamp.com. That's BRETT at mounthopebiblecamp.com, and we'll be sure to communicate the details. Our planning team and board of directors are also considering potential events and activities for late summer if restrictions are lifted. And so just wanted to throw that out there. More details will be forthcoming about that in the days ahead. Throughout this time, the verse that has repeatedly come to my mind during this season of unknowns has been Romans 15:13. Now the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing that you may abound in hope through the power of the Holy Ghost. In spite of this difficult news, there is still hope here at camp. Hope that looks forward to how God will use this season to enhance the ministry of Mount Hope for years to come. It's hope that looks forward to how God will open up doors of opportunities. Hope that looks forward to a campgrounds, that shines, as Gary Rucker would always say. Simply put, it's a hope that looks forward. Why? Because He is a God who gives hope. And because of that, we are choosing to remain hopeful, a phrase that I've turned to a lot during this time. Please continue to pray with us for wisdom in our next steps. And if you have any questions, please feel free to call us here at the camp at 740-372-6422. And with that, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace. God bless.